Why do jeans have that tiny little pocket inside the front pocket? It's too small for your phone, too small for your wallet, and it honestly looks like it's there just to confuse us, but it has a real purpose, and once you know it, you'll notice it every time you put on jeans. Welcome to the Smart Side. This is the channel where we learn the why behind everyday things. Alright, let's talk about that tiny pocket, what it was originally made for, and why it's still on your jeans today. Quick flashback. Jeans weren't invented as fashion. They were work clothes, made for miners, cowboys, railroad workers, people who needed tough fabric that could take a beating. And back then, there was one item people carried every day that was both important and easy to damage. A pocket watch, not a wristwatch. Those became popular later. A pocket watch. If you were working outside, riding a horse, or hauling tools, a pocket watch could get scratched, cracked, or even slip out if it was loose in a big pocket. So, jean makers added a small, snug pocket inside the main pocket, made specifically to hold that watch in place. That's why it's often called a watch pocket. It wasn't meant for coins. It wasn't meant for keys. It was meant to keep a pocket watch safe, upright, and harder to lose. And the placement is not random. It sits high near the waistband, so the watch stayed stable when you moved. And you could reach it quickly without digging around. Now here's the part I love. Wristwatches became common. Phones arrived. Fashion changed. But the tiny pocket stayed. Why? Because once something becomes part of a classic design, it's surprisingly hard to remove. Jeans are one of those things where we expect them to look a certain way, even if we don't use every feature the original way anymore. So the tiny pocket turned into a design tradition. It's one of those little details that quietly says, yep, these are jeans. And honestly, people still use it, not for pocket watches now, but for small stuff you don't want bouncing around. A house key, a ring, a folded bill, or, yeah, coins. And in a funny way, it still does its original job. It keeps a small valuable item snug, protected, and less likely to fall out. So the secret reason jeans have that tiny front pocket is simple. It was made for a pocket watch, and it never disappeared because it became part of what jeans are supposed to look like. Next time you notice it, you'll know. You're basically looking at a little time capsule from the 1800s. Still stitched into modern clothing. If you enjoyed this and learned something new, I'd really appreciate it if you hit like and subscribe. It truly means a lot to me and to the channel, and it helps the Smart Side reach more curious people like you.